You set a boundary. And for a moment, it feels good. You finally said no and chose yourself. But then, something happens. They get cold, or very emotional. They say something that makes your stomach drop. You've changed. You're being selfish. I guess I just don't matter to you anymore. And now you're sitting there thinking, did I do something wrong? This is the moment most people fold. Not because they're weak, but because they're not prepared for what comes next. Because no one tells you this. When toxic people realize they can't control you anymore, they don't just walk away. They push back. And if you don't recognize it, you'll slowly get pulled right back into the same cycle. So let's talk about what's really happening here. And more importantly, how to stay in control without becoming cold or guilty. First, understand this. That reaction you're getting, whether it's the guilt, pressure, or emotional shift, that's not random. That's a test. They're trying to figure out one thing. Does this person still respond to my pressure? Because if you do, they're back in control. And here's where it gets subtle. They won't always attack you directly. Sometimes, they'll act hurt, quiet, distant. Like something is wrong, but they won't say it. And now you feel the tension. So in response, you move toward them. You try to fix it by over-explaining or apologizing for something you didn't even do. And just like that, your boundary disappears. Here's the shift that changes everything. You have to stop reacting and start observing. Because the moment you feel that emotional pull, that's your signal. Not to engage, but to pause. Let it be a little uncomfortable. Let there be silence. You don't have to respond immediately. You don't have to fix anything. And I know, that feels unnatural at first. Especially if you're used to being the understanding one. But this is where your power is. Before we continue, if you'd like to discover some of the most powerful persuasion techniques to turn the tables around and get anyone to do anything, just click the link in the description below. Now let's talk about what toxic people might actually do when you assert your boundaries. Because once you see these patterns, you won't fall for them the same way again. 1. Guilt. This is the most common one. They'll say things that make you feel like you're hurting them. You used to be so caring. I guess I just expected more from you, and it sounds harmless. But it's not. Because now you feel like the bad person. And when you feel like the bad person, you try to make it right. That's the trap. Instead of reacting, just sit with it. You can care about someone without abandoning yourself. 2. Anger. Sometimes they won't be subtle at all. They'll get frustrated, sharp, or even aggressive. And the goal here is simple. To make you uncomfortable enough that you go back to being easy. But here's the truth. Someone getting angry at your boundary doesn't mean your boundary is wrong. It means it's working. 3. Playing the victim. This one is powerful. Because it flips everything. Suddenly, they're the one being hurt. They might say, I can't believe you'd treat me like this, or, after everything I've done for you, and now you're confused. Because you weren't trying to hurt them. You were just trying to protect yourself. This is where you need to stay grounded. You can acknowledge their feelings, without surrendering your boundary. And here's the part most people miss. When you don't react the way they expect, something shifts. At first, they might push harder. But then, they start to feel it and realize, this person is different now. This doesn't work anymore. And that's when one of two things happens. They either adjust, or they distance themselves. Either way, you win. But let's be real for a second. This isn't easy. Because you're not just changing your behavior. You're changing your identity. You're no longer the person who keeps the peace at your own expense. You're no longer the person who says yes just to avoid tension. And that shift will feel uncomfortable at first. But uncomfortable doesn't mean wrong. It usually means growth. So the next time you set a boundary, and someone pushes back, don't panic. Don't rush to fix it. Just notice it. Pause. Stay calm. And remind yourself you're not losing the relationship. You're losing the version of it that required you to shrink. And that's a good thing. Because the moment toxic people realize they can't control you anymore, is the moment they start losing their power over you. Click the description below to learn more powerful persuasion techniques to get anyone to do anything. Then watch this video next to discover exactly what to do once so toxic people will never bother you again.